It must be Wednesday.
We've made it, Rob. It's Thrive with Rob and Jason. Rob, it's been a good week. What is new besides my Broncos losing?
Oh, it was so good to see Mo Picks in the playoffs.
Oh man, yeah. You know what? I love that kid, and I think the Broncos have a great future. We talk about faith on our show here with Thrive. That kid, that's all he is about is faith. I don't know if you know this. He doesn't curse. He listens to worship music before every game. All he talks about is God. I'm very
You know who
happy
used to do
that
that?
he's leading my team.
Do
Huh?
you know who used to do that?
We don't. Russell Wilson. Okay,
Russell Wilson. It's like Russell Wilson 2.0. Enjoy a couple
completely
of
different
years.
though. Come on.
Enjoy a couple of years. Start praying now that you have a good draft pick somewhere where you can get a quarterback.
You
because this is what
you could add in that Russell Wilson actually made the playoffs his rookie year too.
Yes. Yes. Really? Tell me about that. I don't know. I wasn't from Seattle, so I don't remember.
Yeah, you do know this. But man, I'm very happy that they made the playoffs, even though that they got blown out. There's a lot of optimism in Denver right now with that. One of our guests today, he's a Milwaukee fan and a Green Bay Packer fan. They're still doing okay. We'll get on that later. But how did Seattle do this year, Rob?
We didn't make the playoffs.
Oh yes, okay.
We were 10-7, but we were better than the Broncos, just in a tougher division. And congratulations to everybody, man. I'm excited. My adopted team now, of course, because I live here, I live in Ohio, is the Detroit Lions. And so I'm super excited. You and I both played football. We would have played for Dan Campbell. I would have loved every minute. Mm-hmm. Dan Campbell would be my man. I would run through a brick wall for Dan. Totally. I would now. He gets me fired up and I'm like sitting at home and I'm like, yeah.
He's just a dude, right? He's just that guy.
He's the guy that you want to you want to succeed for. You want, because he truly believes that he was never a great NFL player, but he was obviously a great player at one point, because you don't make it to the NFL without being a great player. Mm-hmm. And he just, his love for the game, his love for the people, he was exactly what Detroit needed. I tell people, I jokingly tell my family that's from here that the reason why Detroit's winning is because I moved from Seattle, where there was a culture of success, to Detroit, where there had been no culture. But really, honestly, and if you really break that down, what really has changed, and if you're watching this and maybe you're a business owner or whatever, is Dan Campbell came in and changed the culture of the team. And he believed right away, even though they had a terrible first season, he believed they were going to be winners. And he would tell them this, and you go back and you watch, and he was telling the players, we're practicing like champions. And I'm like, oh, that's good stuff. We're practicing like them. Everything we do is we're going to act like we're champions. We're going to act like we've done this. Vince Lombardi, when he was asked, of course, in the late 60s, Vince Lombardi was a coach for the Green Bay Packers, the great Vince Lombardi. The trophy's named after him, for heaven's sakes. And he was asked when they started doing the whole celebrations in the end zone, why his players didn't do it. And he had it was a great answer, came out of the preseason. And he said, I tell all my guys to act like they've been there before.
Completely, right? Completely.
And he changed that culture because of that.
Yeah, culture's
and it's interesting. Of course, I like the touchdown celebrations when it's my team. Of course, when you see Mo Picks chasing the guy down, that isn't so celebratory.
Hey, I'm just happy we made the playoffs and your team didn't. That's okay. We'll take it. Hey, Rob, I got to ask you. You like my shirt today? I got to move my mic.
I do. I love that.
He is King Apparel. It's one that we've started to bring to the show, and some amazing things on here, guys. Here you can find out all of their lines. They have like 50, 60, 70 different shirts, something like that. And we actually have a discount code for our audience, which is ATV10. You get 10% off of everything there at heisking.life. You can check it out right there, and we'll put the QR code a few other places, but this is just one of the shirts, and you're going to start seeing more of them as I wear them on the show. So guys, check that out. Again,
I love it, and the quality is good quality stuff. Very good. If you're looking for a good t-shirt, hey, it's not too early to start thinking about spring and summer. I keep telling myself, because it was minus -4 this morning. Feels like -4 here in Ohio, but definitely never too early to start thinking about spring and summer. Up your game. Check out the great shirts. Hit the code, get 10% off because you watch us here on Thrive. So we appreciate each and every one of you. This is going to be a good show.
It's going to be a great one. We got a couple different guests today. One is a previous guest that almost set a record with us on how many viewers that watch the show. We really appreciate every one of you guys watching this and supporting us. As we talk about thriving in life, faith, business, everything within that. But man, it's a really good show.
It is.
Do we want to get into the guest yet, Rob?
I think we should.
Perfect. Well, let's start with
we've got us dressed. We've talked about football.
Yep.
What else could there be? I don't know. I can't think. I think we've done it all. We've got new clothes. We've got football. Oh, just really quick. Okay.
Yep.
So predictions this week is you've got Philadelphia and the Rams. You've got Detroit playing the Commanders. Who do you got? Give me your choices.
I got Philadelphia and I got Detroit.
Yeah, that's going to be an incredible game. On the other side, you got KC and Houston, Buffalo, and who's the other team? It doesn't matter. I'm sorry if you're not. If
it's
you're
either KC or Buffalo going to win the AFC.
It's the Ravens.
Yeah,
it's the Ravens. So you've got the
Ravens.
The
Ravens look good.
The Bills.
They look good.
I don't know. I'm still going Josh Allen. I'm going to go with the Bills, and I'm going to go with KC because they're KC.
I agree with you. I agree with you. One other thing we got to ask is national championship for college football. Who do you got? Because your team.
No, it's over already.
The national championship.
I know it hasn't happened yet, but
it hasn't happened.
If you're Irish, you're done. It's over. Rich Eisen was on yesterday. He's of course, big Michigan fan. He was talking about the Michigan cheering for Notre Dame because they can't cheer for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State, I mean, good night. In a great game, and may have been really the national championship game against Texas. That is great. And I love Notre Dame, their coach, Marcus Freeman, super cool dude. Again, another one of those guys. I'd go to war with Marcus Freeman.
Oh,
dude, is legit. Ohio State's got it. The only bad thing,
I'm with you on that. Even though they beat my team, but I'm with you. Ohio State's going to take it. So
yes, we had a little fun texting each other during that game. Which really, got to be honest with you, if I had not been on a Daniel fast, I would have been eating every snack because I was seriously worried.
That first half was a good game. Second half was not a good game, but the first half was.
Yes, Jack came around that corner and knocked.
Yep.
You were senseless. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm serious. As an old man running down, he was running down the sidelines. I'm running around my family room going, Jack.
You're breathing hard.
It was funny. My wife is laughing and I'm like, Jack.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, well,
I would have headbutted him without my helmet on. I'd have Baker Mayfield that whole moment. I would have headbutted him so hard.
Oh man, well, we better get into the guests here, Rob.
Okay. Awesome. That's right. Well, today, we have guests.
Our first guest is Dionne Nicholls-Germain. We're thrilled to welcome you, Dionne. She's also known as the Joy Coach. She has a successful 20-year career in the fashion industry. See, we got fashion here, right? Dionne made a bold leap of faith to reinvent herself as a life and leadership coach. She's now the founder of Live Your Best Life for You, a business dedicated to helping women excel in their personal and professional lives. Dionne is a creator of the Conquering Unforgiveness Mastermind and a Forbes featured author. Welcome to the show.
Wow, that was a mouthful. and thank you for the fashion moment. Anytime I can still get it. So rocking it there, Jason.
Well, you can tell we're me and Rob, we're big into fashion. We're really not. Our wives help us dress. Rob's much more than me. Rob's got a closet of clothes that he doesn't even know that he has. We've had that discussion before. So
we thank
taking
God
a picture
for
Jason. He didn't believe me. I've got probably it's a bad habit. I probably have 75 to 100 dress shirts.
So we're in competition. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that and shoes. I love shoes, but anyway, I'm way too many shoes.
You could go in a whole other direction.
We could.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
I'll let you guys talk. I'll be back.
Well, awesome. Well, Miss Dionne, introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. Sure. So I am a mother. I am a wife. As you mentioned, I'm a former fashion exec turned social entrepreneur. And then throughout that journey, it led me to coaching. I actually thought fashion was going to be the be all end all. I was a small town girl from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And I had this big dream to work on Fifth Ave. And I got to do that, as you said, for over 20 years. Never did I think when I was 40, I was actually a single mom at the time, that I felt like there was something more. There was a bigger calling in my life. I didn't know exactly what it was. At one point, I thought I was actually going to be a kindergarten school teacher. I just loved when my son was a sponge, and there's a whole story as to what ties to why I'm so passionate about forgiveness. But eventually ended up launching a nonprofit with my son's father, a financial literacy youth program. But I'm like, this is still not it, And as I kept going through life, taking this journey with God for, seeking my purpose, it led me to coaching. And as we know, when we're taking that walk with God, you go in for one thing and you end up with so much more. So you would have never told me that I would have left fashion. I'm out here traveling, the country, sometimes internationally, to talk about the power of forgiveness.
I know, right?
Especially in the workplace,
Yes.
So
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many that people hold grudges, especially in the secular world. As I've been in that secular world for many, many years myself, that forgiveness piece, it's forgotten, and especially us as Christians and entrepreneurs in that space. Even if our business isn't necessarily Christian folks, if we're in the secular world, we still lead with Christian values, and that forgiveness is huge. That's amazing. Thank you for that. And then your story, as a single mom, I was a single father for 9 years before me and my wife met, and to understand that hustle and that work. I commend you for everything within that. That is amazing. So I want to get into forgiveness and freedom. So the transformative impact of your Conquering Unforgiveness Mastermind and your 90-day Conquering Unforgiveness Journal. How does that let people, how does that help people get rid of anger and resentment?
Sure. So one thing, the way God gave it to me, because this is like a messy kind of hard, nebulous topic to wrap our heads around, right? So the way I teach it, I actually make it very practical, actionable, and doable. And I use one, let's say from the forgiveness journal standpoint, it's twofold. There's the forgiveness of others, and then the forgiveness of ourselves.
People
so what inspired me to create the journal, and that's why the tagline is for high performing high achievers, is that I was working with clients around the world, and I just realized we're just really hard on ourselves as humans, right?
Yes.
And so by creating a 90-day journal, we know it takes 30 days to create a habit. Why not make forgiveness a lifestyle? And why not start small, right? We know, like anything else, we got to build the muscle. So why not start small so we can work our way up to the bigger grievances, right?
Yes.
So with the journal, it's a mindfulness practice, because the more we focus on grows. And so the more we are taking time to reflect, what might be getting in the way? Where was I able to forgive? And where was I stuck? Just the more you take time, right? And then it's supercharged with gratitude on top of that, which literally rewires your brain to look for the good, even in the trials, the betrayals. What can I still be grateful for, right? Can I be grateful for what I was bitter for? How about that?
Ooh,
Especially
I like that.
Stuff that's been hanging around for a long time.
We need to write that down. Somebody write that down.
Yeah. You can have it. You can have it. But what we do every day, we know that, what we do really on a regular basis is, who we become, right?
Yes.
So that was the premise of the journal. And a big part of my teaching is the dream framework. You'll find it in my mastermind as well as in the book. And that's really about giving people access to getting above and beyond the circumstances and getting anchored into something much higher.
Amazing.
And that's living a life of commitment. And I'll give you an example. So unfortunately, in my relationship with my son's father, there was infidelity. He was stepping out of the relationship. Someone say, that's, forgiveness is off the table, right?
Mhm.
But I'm going to tell you right now, nothing's off the table when it comes to forgiveness, because it's
100%.
about you being free, right?
Yep.
And so what really supported me at that time was, one, of course, I wanted to make room for the good love I believed I was worthy of, right?
Mhm.
But above and beyond all of that, I was committed to my son's well-being.
Yes, of course.
I wanted him to know that he had both parents. He would have a united front who loved them despite what happened. I could have gone the bitter woman scorned route, but if I tell you how many blessings, unexpected rippling effects of generational blessings and
Mhm.
possibility that took place because I was clear on my commitment and why I chose to forgive.
That's amazing, and so grateful that you went down that path, because it changes everything. Something the enemy tried to put in front of you, completely changed and turned for good in the end. It's definitely a tough thing to go through, but that is amazing. I want you to touch on, before we finish up here in the next minute or so. Tell me about Live Your Best Life, because it's a commitment to female executive entrepreneurs, to helping excel at home, work, and the relationships. But I want you to really hit on that and what that is as we finish up here.
Sure. So I have a international speaking, coaching, group coaching, executive coaching business. And the reason I've always focused on women, and female leaders, especially working mothers, a lot of what we deal with is imposter syndrome as
Oh, yeah.
high performing, high achievers, as givers. And so the full name of my company is actually Live Your Best Life for You. So
I love it.
it's finding ways, not from a selfish place, but one that's selfful. So I offer leadership development and for teaching forgiveness through the lens of leadership. So that's where we're learning about courageous communication, the power of self-compassion to mitigate imposter syndrome, and
Mhm.
things like that. So it's beyond just conflict resolution. It's forgiveness. Who you are on the other side of forgiveness is unrecognizable. It's actually one of the most highest forms of personal transformation. So emotional intelligence, a leader who can create psychological safety because of a more forgiving culture. So you see the team and organizational aspects. So I could keep going.
No, I love it.
But just to
I
give you
love
a
it.
sense.
And people can find you through your website right here on the QR code that's
Yes.
down there. Find out more information on that. Dionne, this has been amazing. I think we need to have you again and some more on this show. This is really cool, Rob.
Well, hey, I find good guests
You
on
do,
occasion.
yes.
I
Yes.
do. I found her. I was like, right away, I was like, oh, this is so cool. By the way, can you take the QR code off
I
so
can.
I don't
It's
feel
covering
like
your
I'm
face.
in witness protection? Um,
Well,
hey, just really super quick. Forgiveness is a process,
Yes.
but tell everybody like that first step for you to forgiveness with your husband. What was that first step? What was a lot of people say what was letting go, but what was your first step?
For me, I wasn't even a coach back then. My faith was nowhere near where it is now, but somehow I just intuitively knew for me to make room for the new, I couldn't harbor
mhm.
that resentment and bitterness. So it really was looking at it from a place of self-accountability. Because anytime we're pointing at somebody else, how many more fingers are pointing back at us?
Exactly. You have
Right?
right? Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So, hey, it is so good having you on the show. Thank you so much. And like Jason said, we want to have you back. Let's do this again.
Yes.
And of course, she's part of the U.S. Christian Chamber of Commerce, so we're all part of that, and we appreciate her so very much. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having
Oop,
Oh,
thanks,
I
Dionne.
got rid of her too quick.
You hit the button too
Sorry,
quick,
Dionne.
Rob.
That's my fault.
Well, Rob,
My bad.
our next guest is no stranger to the Thrive audience. He was on right before Christmas. Justin Janowski is back with us today, founder of Faith to Influence. Justin helps Christian coaches and entrepreneurs build scalable businesses while staying rooted in their faith. Proven track record of sales. Pete Vargas, Pedro Rodeo, he's done many things, and one of my close friends. Justin, welcome back to the show.
Wait,
Thanks for having me back on.
No. Just wait. Jason's introduction was about as bad as the way the Green Bay Packers played on last weekend.
Oh, you know that.
After listening to Dionne, I feel like I'm ready to forgive Jason. I'm ready to forgive the Green Bay Packers for their shortcomings and move forward with love into the next season.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it, dude. That is amazing.
Dionne was great, though. I was happy to be able to listen to her and hear her share. And gosh, I love that topic. That's so important.
Yeah, amazing. We got to get to know her some more. Bring her back on. But Justin, we got you back on now, buddy. How was your holidays? Was it good? I know you went on a trip, right?
We went to New Zealand. I took my family of 4 to New Zealand. We had 34-hour travel day between buses and planes and automobiles. We did the whole thing out to Wellington, New Zealand, and had an adventure with our kids. And my wife lived there from age 1 to 11 growing up, and so we got to see her childhood home and her old haunts, and just hang out and see the beautiful land of New Zealand. It's a great place.
And I know we talk about sports in the show a little bit here. There, you took your son to a sporting event.
Yes, my son and I got to go to a soccer game, or football game, of course. Of New Zealand against Australia, and it was so much fun, and they were so loud and so funny. The things that they would chant, Jason, really cracked me up. The funniest chant to me was that the entire crowd would chant when they had the ball. They chant, "We have the ball, we have the ball, we have the ball."
Chants.
They just chant, "We have the ball," like for as long as possible. Yeah. And then when the other team stole the ball, they chant, "We lost the ball, we lost the ball." And I'm like, it's hilarious that these are the things they're chanting, the very obvious things, but it was so spirited and so much fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
Jason, you could totally get into those chants.
I could totally do that. That is within my I could do that completely.
It was a blast. It was a highlight of the trip for me, going to our first international sporting event.
Well, amazing. Well, I know before we talked about some faith to influence, some of the success story with that. Man, I am rough and talking today. I want to get into that some more, and also you're offering the audience something today, right?
Yes, and we're doing something crazy that's kind of exciting, which is we are giving people a phone number to text. So you may have heard me on the show last time. What I do is I help Christian coaches and entrepreneurs sell more, and I help them sell in a high integrity way. I help them with their business offers, their designs, their pricing. We are offering a free coaching call for anyone who wants to grow their business, and or some free resources like our 10-step sales process. And all you have to do to get the resources, if you want, is text info to 262-262-7101, which is right there on the screen. We'd love for you to text. I was like, Jason, should we offer a phone number? Should we let people text? It's kind of scary, kind of risky. I'm trusting that you'll text if you're interested. Text info. We'd love to support you.
We'll leave that up on the screen right there so people can find that again. 262-262-7100. Text info. If you're thinking about starting business, if you have a business, if you want to help with offers, optimization of your business, sales, all of these things, and everything that Justin does is all faith-driven. It's faith-driven business optimization, so you help give insights on helping Christian coaches, entrepreneurs, scale income, all of these things, right?
Yeah, and the stuff we teach really works. My first year in business, I wasn't sure how much it was all going to work. High integrity sales ideas, but my business did over $250,000 in year one, way beyond what I thought was possible. God provided, and I've been teaching other coaches and entrepreneurs the same strategies ever since. So yeah, 262-262-7101. I told you it'll be like QVC, like we're throwing it back, but instead of calling, you can just.
And then I said you have to do the hand models because the QVC hand models, right? Yes.
Yes. I do have nice fingernails for a man.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, at least manicured, right?
Yes.
So awesome, brother. Well, I'm actually a client of yours with our coaching business, and you've helped us optimize things. I highly recommend Justin and what he does in his service. He will get you dialed in if you're thinking about coaching business, just not even coaching, just entrepreneurship in general. You've sold just about everything. I know we talked before about you starting in knife sales with Cutco. That's still I talked to my sister about that over the holidays because I'm cutting with her Cutco cutlery, and I'm like, hey, I know a guy.
That's the good stuff. We can hook you up.
Yes. So sales is a service. I want to get into that about your philosophy of ethical sales being rooted in service, stewardship, and creating values for others. That's something that I've always done in my career, but I want you to really dive into that a little bit and talk about that, and then also your work with industry leaders with Pete Vargas, Ray Edwards, those type of guys.
Yeah. So sales, it has this really negative connotation, right? And there's probably some people listening to this who want to start a business or are an entrepreneur or a coach or a salesperson, but they're telling themselves over and over, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. And I get why, because it feels like it's going to be this bad thing, the way it's portrayed in movies. And there have been, no doubt, in real life, a ton of horrible salespeople who had commission breath and cared more about themselves than about their prospects. But I believe sales, when done right, is simply about asking really great questions and helping people get more of what they want or become more of who God created them to become. If we ask incredible questions and provide great coaching, and then somebody has a problem that we've identified that our product or service can help solve, all we're doing is inviting them to the solution. And we can maybe think about the closing of a sale as more of an invitation than anything else.
Yes.
And done right, I actually believe that sales can be really loving. I believe it can feel like leadership. I believe it can be generous. It can be really, really good. And so we just need to shift our mindset. And most salespeople, entrepreneurs, or wannabe-preneurs who'd like to start a business but won't, are struggling because they have resistance to sales and sales avoidance. And they're resisting and avoiding sales because of their own mindset around what it means. And whatever sales has been for someone else doesn't have to be what it is for you, Jason, or for me. We can choose what it is with us. And with me, sales is love. Sales is good. It is generous, and it is service oriented.
What's that? Sales as a service. So that's amazing. One thing I want to ask, because our audience, there might be a lot of entrepreneurs, people thinking about this stuff. And we do work a lot as entrepreneurs, but I want to see, how do you balance faith, family, entrepreneurship, business? Because family is a big part. We just talked about that with your trip. So how do you balance all that?
Yeah, it's about boundaries. And it's about having the right business design at the foundation of what you're doing. For me, like, I'm not working evenings and weekends. I want it to be easy. I want a light, easy calendar, because I care more about my relationship with God and my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my kids, than I do about my business. I want to have success in all the areas, though. And so we have to get the foundation right, make sure that we have the right offers, the right design, and that we're not like confusing what's most important. And so I'll wrap up here in a second, but I just want to say this. We have to understand what's most important to us and make sure that we have the business design that's fun and easy and fits who we really are.
That's amazing, Justin. Again, right here, guys, text this number if you want to get in contact with Justin, get some info. Text info to 262-262-7100.
7101.
7101. Sorry, it's right there on the screen. 7101. That's okay. We'll hit it again. It's right there. You can do the QR code as well. But Justin, man, this is amazing. You're going to see a lot more of Justin on our network with us as we build this out and do some more things. But Justin, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Operators
guys.
are standing by.
The operators are standing by. It's the QVC, right?
QVC.
People are ready to help you now.
Now, right now.
Let's go. Let's make this business happen. Bring it to life with love.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Wow, where did the time go?
The time goes so fast, Rob. So fast. You know this.
It's because I'm adorable. That's the reason.
You are. Here, I'm going to throw this
just-
up here one more time for the shirt. If you guys need anything on that, right?
Yes.
Code is
Check out the merch.
ATV10 on heisking.life. Okay.
Yes.
Multiple different things. So
Hit the QR code, save 10%, get ready for spring and summer with some good t-shirts. I think it's so cool. And you help support what we're doing here. And we appreciate that. And that is so important. Hey, my friend, it has been another crazy edition of the show. We've had a lot of fun.
We have.
Guests. Man, hey, now all that's left is for you to go out and thrive.